Hello, good morning, and welcome to Christmas Eve 2021. I have just got off a really difficult night of sleep. I've had about 3 hours last night and about maybe 2.5, 3 hours the night before, because our poor dog is not doing well. Indy's doggy dementia, as it's called, seems to kick in at night at the moment, and so he doesn't quite know which way is up, what is day and what is night, and he's currently behind me, just sat underneath the tree, finally sleeping, having kept us awake all night. And at one point, when I did doze off, he was sort of panting and dribbling all over my face. So yeah, it's been an interesting night. Nonetheless, this is my favourite time of the winter. This year, as opposed to last year, the family are in fact upstairs. They are sleeping soundly in their beds. And tomorrow, even though Christmas will see us all up early and down here enjoying each other's company, Christmas Eve morning is the morning I get to be up, whether I want to or not this year, and to reflect a little bit on the year that's gone before. Now, last year, I remember, even though it feels like it was strangely a very long time ago, I remember Christmas Eve very vividly. I'd been preparing to get up early and talk to camera. I was very worried about Mrs. Soup. She had been hospitalised and I think was just starting her recovery from an operation. Our poor dog had just had an operation himself. I had just been involved in a vehicular accident that had maimed one of my friends. It was stressful, to say the least. But oddly enough, this year, even though I think more tired, it's been another strange year, I find myself no less hopeful, oddly. And that's partly also because, thinking about last year, I remember those two people I bumped into outside that Sainsbury's who were desperate not to be homeless on Christmas, and I hope that they manage to have a better year. I hope that they're not homeless this year. I hope that they're not having to beg for a tenner to stay overnight in a hostel this year. I hope, against hope, I hope. I hope things are okay for you guys this year. I hope things, again, against the odds, against the zeitgeist, that hope and goodwill and a certain gratefulness can find you this year, just as it has just about found me, despite tremendous frustrations with global leadership, for example. Tune into some of the Twitch streams to see ongoing conversations about just wanting to bang some heads together. Despite question marks and unknowns linked with the pandemic, linked with broader questions of economic stability, it has found me, and I hope it manages to find you in some capacity. Well, incidentally, this year I'm wearing my Christmas tree slippers this morning. I have my ugly sweater on, which 2 years ago didn't fit me. In fact, last year didn't fit me, but I have lost some weight this year, so this fits me actually quite well this year. I'm quite pleased with that. But this year, as I say, the big treat, the big present, as it were, is the fact that family have been able to visit for the first time in 2 years. They came over on the ferry. The in-laws did. My brother-in-law arrived yesterday and brought with him a delicious Land Rover Lego model to play with. He constructed the differential. It's a 4-wheel drive vehicle. He constructed the differential incorrectly. Apparently this is a fairly common mistake when people are building that Lego set. So we're, as a bit of a group Christmas present, we're going to be taking it apart and putting it back together again correctly. And he doesn't know this, but we've also got him a lighting kit for it. Why am I whispering? He's asleep. Anyway, it's an LED kit designed to go into the van, into the truck, van, car, into the 4x4, to give it working lights that plug in to an external power source. So that's exciting. But that's the thing. That is the present this year. That is the thing that I'm trying to be cognizant of. And it's so cliche. I really hate it when people say this. But it is the fact that the present is a present that you should be present for. And that goes for our dog. You know, it's looking, you know, I mean, my mother-in-law is not one who rushes to dismiss anything in terms of hope and possibilities. But last night she was, having now been in the presence of him, they've heard our troubles with Indy over the past couple of years, but now actually seeing him and seeing how upset he is, how disturbed he is at times, she's saying, you know, you may have to make a decision soon, which is heartbreaking. And last night, even on stream, I was like, no, I'm not sure I want to, I'm not sure I'm ready. But it's got to a point where like I say, he didn't sleep at all last night. He's sleeping now because he thinks that nighttime is daytime, and daytime presumably is sort of a time for sleep. I don't know. But is that quality of life? But anyway, that's the point. That's the future. That's the future. The present, being present for the present, is a present that I intend to take advantage of. And a couple of nights ago, there was a moment when I just realised we were having the most wonderful conversation. I was talking to my father-in-law, laughing out loud at, you know, some buckageist on the TV had done something, you know, daft on the news. It was a very, you know, very us conversation to be having, you know. But I just realised, yes, I'm here, we're laughing, don't take this for granted. And that's what I'm trying not to do this year. Last night I constructed the Lego Christmas tree that a few years ago now my brother-in-law got for us as it's like a limited edition Christmas Lego set that every year we take apart and every year we put back together again, and it's just there on the table, looking wonderful. And as I was doing it, again, I was just taking in the sights, looking around the room, acknowledging myself in the moment, being mindful, is that the word, of where I was, who I was, and who I was with. And that was good. And the thing is, I often say this, you know, I often say, especially in recent years, I don't need any Christmas presents this year. But I really don't this year. You know, I've been fortunate enough to receive some amazing things from friends, from family, from people who watch these videos this year. Books and models and projects. And so whatever I get tomorrow in terms of presents, it'll just be the icing on the cake. I don't need anything. I don't need anything right now. In the present, I don't need a present in the present that I am present for. I really don't, and that's good. Yes, I am thinking about my business and, you know, future clients and future worries, future plans. In the case of the dog, future concerns, future decisions. But that's not the point, is it? That's not the point of these videos on a Christmas Eve morning, and it's not the point of this Christmas. This Christmas, I don't need anything. I shouldn't have to worry about anything. I can just be and engage in, well, for example, hang on, a couple of days ago, I'll just it's just over there. I should have set this up, shouldn't I, a bit better. It's just on the, hang on. Oh, a couple of days ago, I got this in the post. Dungeons and Dragons Art and Arcana from an old friend who I used to work with. It's a brilliantly thick, heavy book from Wizards of the Coast, and it's just celebrating D&D. It's art, arcana, the history of the tabletop game itself, right from the earliest days. It has a foreword by the uber geek and truly tremendous Totty himself, Mr. Joe Manganiello, who for the longest time I thought was just the guy from Magic Mike trailer who danced in a convenience store. But actually, he is a massive D&D nerd. He's a wonderful, wonderful person. And both Mrs. Soup and I appreciate his geekery as much as we may appreciate the fact that he's a very good-looking man. So yeah, this book is a tremendous treat that I'm going to be indulging in this Christmas. A couple of days ago, as you will have seen in the on-camera opening video, I was lucky enough to receive the school bus from the Hidden Side Lego series that is just waiting behind the sofa to be sorted and made. That's a wonderful Christmas project, or maybe Christmas Eve project. I might do that today actually, to engage with. I really don't need anything. I don't want for anything. And right now, here, in the present, that's worthwhile holding on to. As is my coffee, incidentally. It's not going to be easy. For me, it is not easy to let go of worry. I'm part of a subreddit that explores shared experiences. I haven't contributed to it yet, but I get a lot from reading it. Shares experiences of having been brought up with a borderline personality parent. And one of the things that's being discussed at the moment is this. It's the ability to be in the moment, not be aware of danger and risk, and the ability to try and engage in play, which I didn't realise was something that often was difficult for people who've had the sort of childhood I had. But it makes a lot of sense, because I reached a point a few years ago, that's part of the reason why I started this YouTube channel, where I realised that I had to actively indulge computer games, geekery, collecting, and playing with things, because I hadn't learned really to do that naturally as a kid. As a kid, yes, I had some certain milestones, things like games consoles. I had toys, but I never really played with them as a kid because I was so concerned about bigger things, frankly, genuinely dangerous things and people, or a person in my life. And so I always used to look at other children playing with their toys, and I'd hear them making noises like brrr, and then crash, or transforming and this kind of thing. And I found myself sort of jealous that they were living, as it were, outside their own head, and engaging with play. And I'm really fortunate that this is something that I can now do myself. Anyway, I'm rambling now. I'm going to be present for the present. And actually right now, I need to go and put the bins out. I forgot it's Friday morning. Thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful Christmas, New Year period. Relax if you can. Take solace and comfort in others if you can. And have as good a time as you can. Until next time, take care.